I'm Adam Steinfurth. This is Sheets Help, and we go through everything you need to know about how to use Google Sheets. So let's look at this table, and the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to make it apparent that the title is a title. Right now it just looks like a piece of data that belongs to the rest of the spreadsheet. So we'll go in A1, which is where it's been typed in, and we'll select A1 through E1. So selecting it before lets you know that Google Sheets, anything that you do right now, is going to apply to all 5 of these cells at one time. So first we're going to merge them. So we will go to the toolbar here and just click on Merge Cells. And now this is just one cell. Okay, so the next thing that we'll do is we're going to go to the alignment and we're going to center the data. So it's looking more apparent that this title belongs to everything, but we'll do a few more things to make it even more obvious. So we will drop down the font size, we'll change it to 14, and then we will also make it bold. All right, so now when you look at this, you can tell it's sample data, right? Next thing that we'll do is we're going to select the entire table. So we're saying that the title is not part of the table, but we will start at the header, which is in row 2. We'll drag all the way down to the footer, which is only in E7. So this encompasses everything that we're going to format next. There's a shortcut here to give us a head start for table formatting. So we'll click on Format and we'll choose Alternating Colors. And it's kind of self-explanatory. What alternating colors does is that it bands the rows with colors, which makes it easier to read. But it also can accentuate the header if you let it know that there is a header. So we've put that check mark here. Actually, that was already there. But we're also going to tell it that there's a footer. So we'll put a check mark there. And if you look at the table, it is a little bit more apparent now that the first row and the last row are different than the body of the table in the middle. All right, that's all we can do with alternating colors. Well, let's just do it in nicer color. Let's change it to this kind of green color. And now we'll click Done. So it's looking a lot better. We're going to do a few more things to the header row first. So I would avoid just clicking on the 2. So that's a shortcut way to select an entire row, but then what we do is going to go out to the right 2. So let's just do A2 through E2, and let's make this bold. And then I like to center the headers. That just helps to set them apart. So now that we've done that, we'll do one more thing. And there's an option in Sheets to modify what the borders look like. So the border would be the box that goes around every cell. But if you highlight a range, then it's going to do it for that entire range. So what we want to do, we want to put a bottom border on this header, and that'll put a separation between the header and the body. But we're going to make it thicker. So we will click on this box, come down and choose this third option. Usually the first one's going to be selected, but I had already done the third one earlier. So that's what you want to switch to, that I had already done. And left click on bottom border. And now we're done with the header. I think it looks pretty good. And let's do a similar thing to the footer. So we will select all of that. And we will do, from here, we'll do a top border. All right, because it's between 6 and 7, so it's on top of the range that we selected. And while we're in here, we will also make the footer bold. All right, so it's really coming along. It's looking good. There's one more thing that we're going to do. We want to differentiate between regular numbers and currency. So in D and E, these are, in my case, dollars, because I'm in the United States. You would put these in your local currency or whatever the currency of the spreadsheet is. But you highlight those numbers. So in this case, it's D3 through D7. Go back up to the toolbar and just click on the currency icon. All right, so that makes that a lot easier to read. And one thing to keep in mind, though, is if you're used to Excel, when you format something as a table in Excel, it also puts nicknames on the columns in the entire table so you can refer to them that way in formulas. Just be aware that that doesn't happen in Google Sheets. And the other thing that Excel does that Sheets doesn't do is automatically applies filters. So if we go to Data, create a filter, that'll put it on your table. A table this small doesn't need them, but if you have a larger table, these filters can really come in handy to do sorts and filter the data. And this next video will tell you more about that. Thanks for watching. It's good to have you along.